Hello Gemini, welcome to your reading. Thank you so much for joining me. This is Root to Soul's Tarot. I'm Lisa and this is your weekly tarot reading. So, what's going on with you this week, Gemini? Should we have a look at the cards to see? Don't forget this is for you, Gemini, if you are Sun, Moon or Rising, and it's a general reading, so just take away what you need and leave behind what you don't. Simple. So, a little bit of a shuffle. Let's see what we have for you. Right. The King of Pentacles, the Nine of Wands, the Knight of Swords, the Lovers, the Six of Wands. Okay, so the King even of Pentacles, he's very astute with money. He makes very wise pentacle choices. So pentacles being your material world. So whether it is you are making good choices about your health, maybe it is you're making good choices about your home or your relationships even. That is the energy of the King of Pentacles. He is very analytical when it comes to thinking about his finances and his pentacles. He is also extremely abundant because of all of his qualities, because he makes wise choices, because he's very astute and he's very careful and considered with how he moves through his life in his material world. So maybe this is somebody in your life this week that is going to bring these qualities to you as maybe sort of a mentor kind of person, or it could be you with these qualities coming into the week, determined to make some smart material choices, some smart pentacle choices this week. Let's have a few cards with that. We've got the Seven of Swords and the Knight of Wands. This very much feels to me like you are making a plan, maybe making a budget, maybe revisiting your budget, and making sure that the things that are within your budget, you're sticking to the actual budget and you're not overspending, and maybe you're figuring out ways of tweaking it here and making savings there. We've got the Knight of Wands with that as well, and the Knight of Wands is about moving forwards with passion, moving forwards in a fiery kind of way. So I think you are making some sort of a plan this week, whether, like I say, it is financial or whether it is health related, whatever. You're making a plan in order for you to move forwards. There's one required for whatever reason. Obviously, it's a general reading, so it's going to be different for everybody, but there's a plan required for your material pentacly stuff this week. We've got the Nine of Wands. The Nine of Wands, she is the wounded soldier. So she's had a difficult time in the past, maybe in the recent past, but she's still persisting. She's still going forward. She's not giving up. She's still moving on. She doesn't want to give up. She's really resilient, I want to say, and I think this is you this week. I think things have been difficult. I think things have been difficult for an awful lot of people for the last few years, and you're not giving up. You've got that energy of resilience about you this week. Let's have a few cards to go with that, Gemini. Don't forget, if you like the reading, it'd be amazing if you could give me a thumbs up. It'd be amazing if you let me know if it resonates, how it resonates. I love to hear what's going on with you. And don't forget, if you want to subscribe, press that subscribe button, and don't forget that notification bell so you don't miss out on any of your future readings. So we've got the Hierophant next, and we've got the Eight of Cups. So you're going forwards in the way that you always have. Maybe you have created with this plan that you've made recently, as we spoke about with the King of Pentacles, where you're making plans about what you do with your pentacle. I think you're creating boundaries for yourself, and you're creating, maybe, like I say, I feel like for a lot of you it is budgeting. Budgeting is like a big word for me, for you this week. The Hierophant speaks of boundaries. It speaks of doing things the way that you've always done them, doing things, things morally correct, within a sort of an ethical framework. And I feel like you are moving through the week with boundaries set for yourself. So, you've got this plan, and with that plan there comes some boundaries. So, and I think it's because you're wanting to move towards better things, move towards happier things. We've got that 8 of Cups there, and she's walking away from her 8 Cups because they don't make her happy anymore. They're not in alignment with who she is anymore. So I'm thinking that maybe the stuff, the way that you've been doing things in the past, the things that you've been doing, the people maybe you've been with, things that maybe used to make you happy, actually don't anymore. Maybe they're starting to make you a little bit miserable, and they're not feeling like they're in alignment with you anymore. So, back to that King of Pentacles, maybe it is that you realising that you need to make some changes in your material world, and you need to create a plan of action. And if you're going to move forwards in the Knight of Wands kind of way, and with gusto, with sort of a fiery, fun energy about you, you're going to have to leave some stuff behind, and you're going to have to, maybe rein things in a little bit and give yourself a framework to work within, moving forwards. So we've got the Knight of Swords as our next card. He's there. He's on a mission. He's on an absolute mission. He's moving forwards. He's wanting to change things. He's wanting to shake things up, and I think this is you. I think you, the more you are delving into your material world this week, Gemini, the more you're starting to get into the swing of creating this new way of living, these new boundaries, this new framework that you're living within and moving towards your happiness. I think it's giving you more energy and more of a need to see how you can make the changes in your life that would make things better, that would help you move towards a happier space, into more of an aligned space on a day-to-day basis. Let's have a couple more cards. Turn those around. A couple more cards to go with those. The Emperor. Yeah, you're very much taking control. And like I say, for a lot of you, I'm sure it's money. I'm sure some of you have been like, right, we need to revisit our budget. We need to rethink things. We need to set a plan and stick to it, create this framework that we need to stick to, because maybe, you want to save up for something. Maybe you've got extra outgoings. Maybe it is that you're wanting to get out of debt, and you're wanting to move towards this happy place, a better place for yourselves. And I think it's like empowering, isn't it? Taking back control when we know exactly what's going on with our finances and what's going on with our money. We can then know what we've got, and we can move forwards in a more empowered way. And I really, it's that sort of thing for certainly a chunk of you, Gemini. If it's not that maybe it is your health, maybe it is home. Maybe home's felt like it's not quite. There's been some boundaries pushed and things haven't felt quite right, and you're reorganizing things within your home space, reasserting yourself with creating boundaries and a framework for life for the people that live in it. But whatever it is, you are on a mission to make this right, on a mission to regain control and to feel more empowered about the situation. We've got the Four of Wands there to go with that card. Four of Wands is all about building strong foundations for the future. So in doing this, in reining this thing in, you are giving yourself, or giving the situation, longevity. Is going to, be strong and stable into the future. And it's all down to you. It's all down to you taking control of the situation this week. We've got the Lovers card there. The Lovers is about connections. It can be about your intimate other. It can be about choices, being a 2, choices about a relationship. I've got one here that insists on coming out. The 3 of Cups. That's a lovely card. Celebration. Celebration with those people close to you, and the Queen of Pentacles. So I think the people around you, the people within your space, within this situation, are really going to be celebrating with you, because you are, I think maybe even you've seen the fruits of your hard work already. We've got that Queen of Pentacles. She's abundant. She's vibrating at a high level, and she is naturally attracting the abundance towards her. So I think I feel like there's sort of need to celebrate before even the end of this week. I think you're going to really notice a difference. And do you know what? Even if it is just you feeling back in control, because it's when we're sort of flying by the seat of our pants and we're not in control of a situation, it's very disempowering, isn't it? But when we start to take control, we get all the information that we need, the Knight of Wands, and then we move forwards with that based on the information we've got. Then we are more in charge, we're more in control, more empowered. And I very much feel like this is what's happening for you this week, Gemini. And I feel like you are really starting to, and the people in your little world are really starting to feel it and start, noticing a difference in your situation. So we've got the 6 of Wands next. 6 of Wands is a victory card. It's a card of being noted. It's a card of being seen for your achievements. So let's have a few other cards to go with that. The 10 of Swords and the 9 of Swords. So let's have one more. The Knight of Pentacles. So I think you are being seen this week. You're being seen for your achievements, and I think the end of a stressful situation is certainly coming your way. I think things have maybe been quite fraught in the last few weeks because of this situation, and I feel like it is definitely coming to an end. Not without some stress and anxiety related to it, before it sort of, it comes to its final peak, and then you're moving on from it. But I think we've got that Knight of Pentacles. This is you making very careful, considered choices about your pentacle moving forwards. So I think it is certainly, you're doing the right things. You're moving towards a better space, but it's going to get a little bit fraught before it all calms down, and then you've got I think it feels like you're going to find out something that's that is going to come to light, and then once you've got all the information, as sometimes stressful as it can seem, you can deal with it. You can deal with it in a careful, considered way, and then you can move forwards with that. And that is what I feel like is going on for you this week, Gemini. Again, I'd love to know. Let me know in the comments if this resonates with you on any level. But I definitely feel like you're taking back control. We've got that King of Pentacles. He's a very powerful dude, and we've got that Emperor guy there, and he's also exuding confidence and power. So, we've got that. We're going to have 3 of these. I've got one of them on the floor. I'll pick them up in just a moment. And then we'll have a couple more to add to the tarot. See what else they've got to say, what you need to know today. Right, what's this one? We have Beaver Spirit, lay a solid foundation. What did I say? We've got the strong foundations there, laying strong foundations for the future. So taking control, building a strong foundation so that you can grow from that point. Right, what else have we got? Vulture Spirit, nothing is wasted. So I think you are going to be making the most of everything that you've got this week. I think you're going to be bringing it all together. I think certainly the time that you are spending doing this is not wasted. And I think you are going to be, sort of having a little bit of an audit. Even if it is, you know, it doesn't have to be a financial one. It can be just an audit of the people in your life, an audit of what's going on in your home, an audit of, you know, your garden space, whatever it is for you. But I think you are being very methodical about this week. Squirrel spirit, believe in yourself. You have got this, Gemini. You're in control. You have got these very empowering cards. You've got this. Believe in yourself. You can do this. I say for some of you, it's going to be something, you know, this is going to be really big and it's going to be really important. For others, it's going to be just something that you've got to deal with this week. But I definitely think that you are taking back control of your material world and you are making things better moving forward, creating those strong, solid foundations for yourself and the people in your world for the future. So I'm going to leave it there. I hope that's been helpful. Again, let me know in the comments below. In the meantime, look after yourself, stay rooted, stay open, stay magical, and I will see you again very, very soon.